In this video, let's learn how to solve more equations. And now we're working with equations that involve square roots and absolute values. I know at first it's a little bit scary, but when you can get a hand of it, it's not so bad. So I see a square root of u minus 7 equals 5. First, I need to point out that u minus 7 should be greater or equal to 0 all the time. That will be domain of this function. That means u should be greater or equal than 7. That is important in case you will get several roots as the answer. Then you choose only those roots that are in a domain. That's my domain. Even though I was not asked about that, you should always check at the end if your root makes sense for this particular problem. Now, the square root u minus 7 equals to 5. Let's square both sides to get rid of the square root. Then I will have u minus 7 equals 25, or 5 squared, right? Then u will be 25 plus 7, which is 32. Only one root showed up, and remember, for the domain, the root should be greater than 7. 32 is greater than 7. I can even point this out. So I have rights to use it. Again, when we are getting rid of the square root, we might happen to have several roots, and some of them might look good, but when you plug them back into this square root, they might make a negative sign inside of the square root. Because when we are getting rid of the square roots, we're kind of increasing the domain of the new function that we are creating. So be very careful at the end, check yourself, and then put it in the box, because that's the answer. Let's do fast for the second example. I'm squaring both sides. I'll have y equals 36. And instead of writing the domain, I will just check myself. It's the same thing, exactly the same thing. I will just check. I will plug the root inside of the original function. I had square root of y equals 6. So now I'm plugging 36. Square root of 36 is indeed 6. Done. So unless you get some kind of improper result, square root of minus 7 or something like that, then you should say that root is not good. Now, how to deal with the absolute values? Absolute values, they break the situation into two cases. Whatever is inside 6w plus 3 equals whatever is on the right hand side 15, and whatever is inside 6w plus 3 equals minus 15. That's basically using definition of the absolute value. We need to work with two examples here. Let's see what's going to happen. So for the first scenario, we're going to have 6w equals 12 and 6 equals 2. That's my first answer. For the second scenario, we have 6w equals, did you guys get 112 by the way? I skipped a step, maybe I should not. It's going to be 5 minus 3, right? So that's 12. And then I divide it by 6. Let me not skip the step. W equals 6w equals 12. And then I will write for u dividing by 6. That makes me w to be 12. 6w is minus 15 this time, minus 3. 6w now is minus 18. Let's divide by 6. W becomes minus 3. And that's the second root. And this, how fast you can work out problems with absolute values. So the idea is, I kind of copied a very interesting case over here. I found it very neatly written, like so. The idea, when you have examples with absolute values, you break them into two scenarios. When you had 3 on the right hand side, then you will have plus 3 and minus 3 for both cases. Solve for each case. In this case it was 9 minus 2x, and in our case it was 6w plus 3, and you get two different solutions. Include them both, and so in this case answer we'll have two solutions. W is 2 and minus 3. Put it in the box, and also check yourself in case you have extra time on the exam. After you're done, you can check yourself, and I will do it really fast for you. Check. I will plug inside of 6w plus 3, right? The answer should be 15. So let's see. If I plug 2 it will be 6 times 2 plus 3. Absolute value of 12 plus 3, that's absolute value is 15, and that is 15 matches. For the second root, I will have 6 times minus 3, don't forget to put parentheses, plus 3. It is going to be minus 18 plus 3. And that means inside of the absolute value, I have minus 15. But absolute value makes negative input to be positive or 0. Check mark. So again, I just took each root and then plugged it into my function to check that the right hand side indeed is going to be, it's over here, look here, indeed should be 15, and it worked. So you always can check yourself, including this example as well. You can always check that your roots make sense. The right hand side should be 3 in this case. Check, and you should be happy about the results. And that's how you do it. So now you know it. Now you know how to do it. Plus right hand side, minus right hand side. That's how you work out absolute values. Carefully, don't panic, step by step, and some algebra is involved. Now you know. Practice a little bit more, and you will be super confident with this material. And I will see you in my next video.